Hi everyone, I am an Elite Dangerous, and this is my beautiful brand new ship, the Imperial Cutter. So, the Imperial Cutter is the largest ship that you can buy in Elite Dangerous currently, and it's also the most expensive ship you can currently buy at 207 million credits for just the base package. But if you're looking to fully outfit this thing with A-rated equipment, then you're going to be looking at a total cost of about 1 billion credits, which means you'll be shelling out about 30 million credits in insurance every time you die. I'm pretty new to this game. I've only been playing for 2 months, so I have not actually earned 1 billion credits yet. I was just able to outfit this thing with a very basic package for trading and making money, so hopefully I can earn 1 billion credits and outfit it with some better equipment. So this is what the outside of the ship looks like. It's very sleek. Even has these cool like paned panels that you can see through to see some of the internals. Let's go inside the ship and check that out. So I set myself pretty far back here. You're not usually flying the ship from this angle. Usually you're on that chair on the right, but if you want, you actually can fly from this angle as long as you have all of the menu hotkeys and stuff memorized. That's what it sounds like when you boost in this ship. I really like that sound. And this ship, as you can tell, does not turn very fast. It doesn't have great maneuverability, but it is fairly fast for a ship of its size. So let me just get up and take a quick look around here. So you can see it's got a nice spacious interior. It actually has 2 chairs up in the cockpit. That second chair is not usable at the moment, but at some point, Frontier Development is going to come out with a system called multi-crew, where you can have multiple people flying a ship. You can have one person piloting, one person manning weapons, one person doing power distribution, etc. And as you can see, there's 2 little slots here that look like that might be where the other 2 people would sit, maybe, I don't know. One thing that kind of disappointed me about this ship is that it does not have any roof windows, so when you're in combat you can't kind of look up and track your enemies like that, but it is a beautiful interior. The chairs themselves are kind of interesting looking. Let me go back to my regular view, take a look at this. So, some sleek Imperial chairs. The whole thing just really nails that Imperial aesthetic. So yeah, that's the interior of the ship. Now I'm going to go try to perform a planetary landing here. And I have never attempted a planetary landing on this thing before. And it is like some massive weight, like 1,500 tons or something. So it's going to be quite interesting trying to land it on a planet with gravity. Although, I'm not quite sure how much gravity this planet actually has. And this planet I'm going to is in the Dekiet system. I'm going to Farseer Incorporated, which is a engineer outpost, because I am going to try to upgrade my frameshift drive, which I was just charging so I can get here faster. The frameshift drive upgrade is really great from the engineers. It's the one engineer that I have at level 5 mods, just because I really want those frameshift drive upgrades. It just makes your game more enjoyable because you can just do everything faster by getting around the galaxy faster. So let's just take it slow and get in here. Get all this yellow out of my screen. I think that means I'm going in too steep. I don't want to just slam into the pad and have this thing die, because then I have to pay 12 million credits. So even though I'm just using a kind of bare bones build, it's still pretty expensive. I only have 68 million credits left. I had about 3.2 or 320 million credits when I bought this thing. Anyways, I've dropped. Oh no, my glide failed. So when you're doing a planetary landing, you're supposed to get into 2,500 kilometers per second, and then you'll drop into a glide. But if you're entering too steep, then your glide will fail, and you just have to go in manually, which is going to take me a whole minute to reach where I want to go. So I guess it gives me some more time to talk about the ship. Like I was saying, I had 320 million credits when I bought this thing. Now I'm down to 68 million, and with a rebuy cost of 12 million credits, that means I can afford to die 5 times. But that's okay, because one of the great things about this ship is it is amazing at making money, because it can hold way more cargo than any other type of ship in the game. I mean, it is an all-around ship, but its specialty is hauling cargo.
Access granted. Proceed to landing pad 0.
Okay. Whoa, shit! I did not see that. Okay. That's one of the disadvantages of kind of the slim window profile here. I'm used to flying Asp Explorer, which is basically just like a space patio, and you just have windows all around you. You even have windows down at your feet, so you can look down when you're landing. Oh, I love the Asp Explorer, and I really miss it now. But, yeah, I need this thing so I can start making some serious bucks. Okay, so I'm just taking it in slowly. Let's go ahead and put on our landing gear and assume the landing position, and then I'm just going to thrust down onto the landing pad. Up. It's okay, my shield's held up. Okay, I should be landed. Interesting. Okay. Take it down slow. Very, very slow. And I'm facing the correct direction here. Am I not oriented correctly? I've never done a planetary landing before, so I'm not really sure why this isn't working. Let's try putting the nose down. I'm on my nose now. No, that's probably not why. The struggle is real. That did it. Okay, I guess I just was not orienting my ship properly. Kinda had to angle it upwards to land properly. So, let's just take a quick look at this bare bones trading build that I'm running, which is probably the cheapest build you can run on a cutter and still be effective at what you're trying to do. Pretty cool little cave hangar here. God, I love going into hangars in VR. It feels so cool. Okay, so let's check the hard points. Nothing, all right? You don't need hard points when you're trading. Hard points, by the way, are weapons, because you can just run away from anyone who interdicts you. Okay, so for my core internals, I went for a 7A frameshift drive, but everything else is D-rated, because D-rated drives and internals have the lowest weight, and they're also pretty cheap. And having less weight means you can jump farther, and it means you have more maneuverability and speed. And I also even went down a level on some of these, so I have a 6D power distributor because that's much lighter than a 7D, and I have a 5A power plant because that provides all the power I need, and it's extremely light. And so all of that saved me a bunch of money, and then I went for the optional internals, cargo racks out the ass. Okay, so 8-slot cargo rack, 8-slot cargo rack, 60 shield generator because you do need some shields, or else you're just going to be beating up your hull whenever you land. And you also need them for getting away from interdictors. And then cargo rack, fuel scoop, obviously, cargo rack, etc. And as far as utility mounts, I've got a point defense, 2 heat sink launchers, and the rest are shield boosters. I would have put everything as shield boosters, but then I wouldn't be able to use the 5A power plant. So let's go into the engineer's workshop, and let's do a level 5 increase FSD range. This is exciting. I've never actually done this before on any ship. I have enough materials for just one of them. Although if I want another one, all I have to do is find 1 polonium, which is easier said than done. So let's just pray for the best. Come on. Give me something good. It's all random, so the negative effects are going to have a random number, and the positive effects are going to have a random number, and ooh, it's good. I got a good roll. Yes. Thank you. And I got some good secondary effects as well. So, yeah. Great. So, the effectiveness of my frameshift drive has gone up by 42%. That is incredible. I'm very happy right now. So let's see how far I can jump. Oh, I can jump 34 light years. Before it was like 23. That's crazy. Awesome. Now I'm going to go to Sothis, and I'm going to start making some money. So let's just hit up the galaxy map really quick. And let's select Sothis. One of the annoying things about the galaxy map in VR is that all of your axes have to be zeroed to actually do anything. And that is annoying because you use them to navigate the map as well. Okay, here we go. So 561 light years away, which is gonna be 18 jumps, so that's gonna take me a while, but I'm just gonna launch off. And did I already launch? Yeah. Oh, did not mean to do that. I meant to take off my landing gear. What is actually going on right now? Like, I don't see. I mean, it wants me to leave the station. I get that. I'll gladly leave the station. Okay. Oh yeah.
Ship restraints disengaged. Commence departure.
Landing gear retracted. Cargo scoop retracted.
Alright. I haven't actually done planetary landing in a while, so I was kind of confused about how to take off. But you just gotta do your up thrusters. So let's get out of here. I'm going to go to this place called Sothis, which is a system that is about 350 light years outside the bubble, and it offers a bunch of long-range hauling missions.
Disengaging automated flight control.
Where basically they pay you a ton of money to take a bunch of cargo about 300 to 400 light years away. So ideally you'll load your ship up with as much cargo as you can hold, and this ship happens to be able to hold 696 tons of cargo, way more than any other ship could in the game. So I'm going to load it up with a ton of cargo, and then I'm going to take all of that cargo, and I'm going to get millions of credits for each mission I complete, and hopefully I'll be completing a ton of them per run, making a ton of credits, and once I have enough credits I'll be able to pimp out this ship, I'll be able to pimp out my other ships. I also have a Asp Explorer and a Fer-de-Lance. So now I have this ship, which is my trading ship, kind of, at least for now, and then I have my Fer-de-Lance, which is a combat ship, and Asp Explorer, which is an exploration ship, which are the 3 main activities in this game. Anyways, I'm going to jump to my first destination, and there we go. I'm going to jump to my first destination. But you guys don't have to sit here for the whole trip, 500 light years. I will just cut right to the good stuff. Okay, I am in Sothis. I am at New Home Station, so I'm just gonna boost in here, land, and check the mission board. Probably not a good idea to boost in here. It's an old habit from my more maneuverable ships. Now, oh god, I hope I don't bump this guy. Oh god, so many ships to bump. I think my ship takes up pretty much the entire mail slot here, so if there's anyone else in here, I am going to bump them to fine, but I'm okay. So, oops. I turned my ship too early because I forgot how big it is and how long it is. You gotta wait a little bit to clear the mail slot before you start maneuvering when you're in a big ship like this.
Landing gear not deployed.
Thank you, Starport lady.
Landing gear deployed.
And let's just take her down, nice and slow. Oh, just
Docking
missed it.
successful. Engines disengaged.
Okay. So, what we're looking for here is legal trading missions for hauling cargo back to the bubble, and we want about a minimum of 100,000 credits per ton of cargo. So here we have boom time delivery of 72 units of hydrogen fuel for 7 million credits. So that's just under 100,000 per ton, and 96 units of biowaste for 9.3 credits, 9.3 million, which is also just under 100 million per ton. I'm just going to take those anyways. So at what's my max? So much glare. 696. So if I manage to hit 100,000 credits per ton, then I will be looking at about 70 million minimum profit from one run from the bubble to Sothis and back, which is pretty good. Let's see. $132 units of hydrogen fuel for 7.8 million. That is way lower than 100,000 credits per ton, so I'm not actually going to take that one. But as you can see, these are the type of quests that I'm going to try to fill my mission log up with, and I can just reset them by quitting to the main menu and swapping to the mode that I was not in. So I was in solo play, so if I swap to open play, it's going to have different messages or different missions, and then when I swap back to solo play, it's going to have different missions again. Now, if you're morally opposed to this method, you can always just run between the New Home Station in Sothis and the space station in Ceos, which is another station that's 9 light years away that offers the same missions, and you can just run back and forth between those, take as many data delivery missions as you can, and then fill yourself up with cargo hauling missions using that method, and that will also reset your mission board every time you go back and forth. It's just much, much slower. Okay. So here's a smuggling mission, which also has crappy profit margins. Nothing good here, so I'm just going to keep resetting my board until my cargo hold or my mission log is full, and then I'm going to take off. Okay, so my cargo hold is nowhere near full yet, but one of these missions popped up. Snake in 84 units of combat stabilizers for 6 million credits to Ceos, which is only 8.9 light years away. So even though I was not planning on including smuggling missions, this one only takes us 8.9 light years away, which I would be foolish to turn that down because that is 5 million credits for a tiny amount of work, so I'm just going to go ahead and run to Ceos But you can do this same exact thing at Ceos. It offers the same missions. And like I was saying before, you can even just run back and forth between Ceos and Sothis to reset the mission boards. And they do have boom data or just regular data delivery missions between those two stations. So it's also a great way to farm engineering materials. Oh, buddy. Now let's just make sure that this doesn't actually have us landing on the small landing pad. New Dawn Station. Perfect. Okay. That's where we want to go. Because the cutter is a huge ship and it cannot land on small, medium landing pads, only large landing pads. But the mission just wants us to go to the space station anyways. Also, CS doesn't have a small landing pad, I just remembered. It's only Sothis that has one.
Incoming mission critical message.
Now, for these short-range smuggling missions, you do tend to get interdictors on your ass who do not give up, and it's pretty annoying. So it might take me a little bit to get here if I get constantly interdicted, because I can't fight them. All I can do is run. But we'll see. There's someone on my radar. One great thing about the cutter is that it actually is by far the heaviest ship in the game, which means it just doesn't get mass locked by other ships. It's the ship that does the mass locking, so if someone interdicts you, even if they're right in your butt, you can just jump away and you're not going to get mass locked. So it's really a great ship at avoiding interdictions. Now, I may be going too fast for this. Yeah, I clearly am. Let's start the loop of shame right now. I just got too worried about the interdictor. Alright, now I'll keep it slow. Gotta stay around 7. Alright, looks like I actually made it without getting interdicted once. That's pretty amazing, but that's what you get when you have a smuggling mission that only takes you 9 light years away to a station that's only 500 light seconds away. So yeah, Sothis and Ceos, even if you don't have a crazy ship like this, is just amazing money. I earned the money for this ship in Asp Explorer, which when you fully load it with cargo bays, it can probably hold about 140 tons of cargo. But even just doing data delivery missions between Sothis and Ceos, and then the occasional short-range smuggling mission is also a great way to get both materials for engineering and money. So definitely check these stations out if you are struggling for cash. Although I feel like at this point most people already know about this. Alright, ease it in there. Once again, I scraped the mail slot because I maneuvered my ship too early.
Landing gear not deployed. Landing gear deployed. Docking successful.
And there you have it. So you do occasionally get these missions that just run you one jump over and they give you millions of credits, but you have to make sure that the mission says snake in X units of X. If it says, like, if it doesn't specify the exact amount of units that you're smuggling in the title, but it still says that you're going to Ceos or you're going to Sothis and it's a smuggling mission, then it's actually going to be a mission where you go to Ceos and it says, okay, now here's your actual destination. So always make sure, if you're accepting these smuggling missions, that they actually are the ones that go between Sothis and Ceos and not the ones that say, we will give you more information when you reach Sothis or Ceos. So this is Ceos, and apparently there's only 2 quest givers here, but they have quite a lot of missions. Here we go, boom time delivery of 88 units of hydrogen fuel. Just under 100,000 credits per ton, so I'll take it. And I'm just going to keep resetting this mission board and trying to get more missions. So I will cut out the boring stuff and get back to it once I am ready to roll. Okay, so I am actually back in Sothis. I saw some good material rewards from some of the data delivery missions in Ceos, so I decided to take them and come back here. If you're doing something like this, always make sure that you are checking on any missions that have material rewards. For example, this one gives arsenic, which is a pretty good reward. They can give, as far as I can tell, any material can be given from missions like that, so always check them for the rare, hard to find materials, because that is the best way to get those materials for engineering. Now, I am at about 668 cargo out of 696, and the hauling missions are starting to dry up. One of the great things about Sothis, though, is that you can go into the commodities market, and Sothis actually has a rare commodity called Sothis crystalline gold. So let's go ahead and just buy it all up. And now I'm at 696. They gave me exactly enough to fill out my cargo. So, as you can see, whoops, there's my materials. I have a ton of biowaste, just mostly biowaste actually. Biowaste and a little bit of hydrogen fuel. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay. So, I'm going to take all this and I'm going to take it to the Bumble and turn it in and see how many credits I got. So right now I am at about 75 million thanks to that little smuggling mission I got for some free credits. So let's see just how effective this ship is at making money. And before I do that, let me show you one of my tricks on grinding in this game and how to make the grind a little bit easier. So I'll be right back. Ah, there we go. So my secret to grinding is just, you gotta enjoy it. You gotta get comfy, relax, and have a good time with it. One of the underappreciated benefits of virtual reality in Elite Dangerous is you can find yourself the comfiest position possible, even while laying down, and then you can just reorient the entire game around that position. Looks like someone got blown up here. Interesting. Alright, so now I'm going to try to pilot this beast with an Xbox controller. The Xbox controller is actually pretty good though, so... Oh, God, no. Go. I do not want to get destroyed for blocking the mail slot. Alright, we're good. We are good. And my shield took all the damage. Okay, so I have a 19 light year journey to Ross 364, the first stop on my destination, which is quite long because I am hauling almost 700 tons of cargo, which means my jump range is now 22.8 light years as opposed to 35.2 light years unladen. But still, 22 light year jump range with a full cargo on the cutter is pretty amazing. So this is going to be a long journey. I'm not going to show the whole thing, but I'll show a little bit of the beginning, just so I can talk a little bit more about the cutter and the grind. So getting the cutter itself is a huge grind, not just in the money, but the Imperial rank. You have to become a Duke, which is the 12th rank in the Imperial Navy, and basically the way you rank up is by just running as many missions as possible. In the past that was done through donation missions, but that was kind of nerfed for Imperials. And now the best way to do it is data delivery missions. So you just load up on data delivery missions, deliver them, load up on data delivery missions from that station, and deliver them back over and over and over again. I did it for days and days on end. But I did end up getting a ton of good engineer materials from that. And I probably spent the whole time just laying on the couch like this, chilling out and relaxing. Because this game has a lot of grinding in it, and if you can't enjoy the grinding, then you might not enjoy the game. Personally, I'm perfectly fine with the grind. I live in the grind. I grew up on MMORPG games, starting with EverQuest when I was 12 years old, and then that was like an addiction of mine for years and years and years. The last one I played was Arc Age. But yeah, so I'm totally used to grinding and totally into it, but for those of you out there who just hate grinding, there are ways to play Elite Dangerous without grinding, but if you want to be a progression player who is constantly getting better ships, making your ship better through engineering, you are going to have to do a bit of grinding. So find some way to enjoy it, listen to music, watch a movie. You can actually watch movies in VR now. You can overlay them over any program, and I'm going to make a video about that. I'm going to make a video about that very soon. I was watching Battlestar Galactica on my ship's dashboard the other day while grinding. It was pretty sweet. And yeah, so you can anchor the window anywhere you want in the game world, in any VR world. So there's all sorts of ways to make the grind more enjoyable. Personally, I think Elite Dangerous is just an incredibly immersive and enjoyable game in general, especially in VR, so I have no problem with it. And this is what I'm going to be doing for the next couple days at least, and I'm just going to be getting as much money as I can out of this ship to make the whole grind that I did to get this ship worth it. And then I'm going to be grinding engineer materials after that to upgrade all my ships. So, fun times ahead. And then after that, I'll probably try my hand at PvP and open. So we'll see. But I will keep putting out videos about my adventures in Elite Dangerous. And now, let's just skip ahead to the end of this journey and see how we did with our massive load of biowaste. See how much profit we made. Onwards. Okay, I am on the last leg of my journey in delivering all of these tons of biowaste and fuel. I'm at Smear Nova Relay, sitting at 121 million credits. But let's see how that looks after I turn in these last couple missions.
Scan detected.
So that time I did not try to maneuver before I was through the slot. I've gotten much better at keeping in mind where the ass of my ship is. It's just one of those things you need to learn when you're flying a huge ship like this. But I have had a lot of fun learning to fly this massive ship, because I've never flown anything bigger than a Fer-de-Lance. And I'm really enjoying it. Even though it's like super slow, it's very satisfying. Okay, let's turn in these last couple missions and see what I end up at.
Touchdown. Engines disengaged. Enjoy your stay, Commander.
Okay, so there's one mission. Here is the next mission. And the final mission. Leaving me at basically 148 million credits. I started at 75 million. Well, I started at 69 million, and then I got basically a free 6 million from that little smuggling mission in Sothis and Cios. So starting from 75 million up to about 148 million. So I made about 73 million in one run, which is a little bit over 100,000 per ton because I only have 696 tons of cargo capacity. Either way you look at it, it's quite a big chunk of change. I didn't actually time this run, so I don't know what the credits per hour is. It might not be the most efficient way of making money, but it is, without a doubt, a good way of making money. And this is how I'm going to be making money over the next week or so. Stacking as many credits as I can get. Hopefully I can get up to about 1 billion, and then maybe I can start doing some other stuff. But yeah, it is really easy because you take no illegal missions at all, so you have no illegal cargo. I didn't get interdicted a single time during this whole run, and I delivered like 400 light years to the Bubble, and then I delivered to about 10 stations or so, and not a single interdiction, which is pretty amazing because I feel like I'm getting interdicted nonstop if I have even one cargo in my Asp Explorer, but maybe they were scared of the big bad Imperial Cutter. So it's really easy way to make money. As you can see, I just lay here on the couch, nice and comfy and relaxed, and the credits just pour in. So I am pretty satisfied with this cutter. It is very satisfying ship to fly. The sounds are really great, just like the sounds of the thrusters and the engine boost and stuff. And even though I wish there was windows on the roof, the windows are nice and they take up your whole field of vision, and they're very wide so you can see all around you. So overall, the cutter has been really fun so far, and I look forward to outfitting it for combat and getting a bunch of engineer mods for it, because everyone says the cutter sucks at combat and the cutter is a joke and all that. But engineer mods do have the biggest benefit for larger ships, so we'll see how well a fully modded, fully combat fitted cutter can perform, especially with prismatic shields. And until then, I will just be using it as a money-making machine, and it'll always be useful for that. So I'm really glad that I bought this thing and that I ground out my faction all the way to Duke in the Empire. So thank you all for watching this video, and check out my channel if you're into virtual reality. I put out a ton of VR gameplay videos, as well as the occasional Elite Dangerous video, because this is my favorite virtual reality game. And thank you for watching. Have a great day, and goodbye. Just another noob there. Alright. And Moo Grunt. Looks like he is chasing another guy. Don't get too focused on that, Moo Grunt. I'm in your ass right now.